A mystic, yogi, visionary, humanitarian, author and poet. Sadhguru is a spiritual master with a difference. Traversing seamlessly from the ancient to the ultramodern, he bridges the gap between the known and unknown, making a clear break from the mere customs and rituals. Sadhguru presents the inner dimension in a scientific manner.
So this is the nature of a human being. Whatever you're deprived of, you think that is the highest thing. If you have not eaten for 2 days, food will be God. Yes or no? No? Yes. If you don't understand this, close your mouth, hold your nose like this for 2 minutes. Will you ask for air or God? Air. God comes and says, you want me or air? You'll say, hell with you, I want to breathe. Because whatever at that moment you're deprived of, that takes on enlarges itself in such a way, it blocks everything out. Or in other words, when you're in any state of compulsiveness, you don't see anything the way it is, it gets exaggerated. If your bladder is full, 1 minute, I'm talking about enlightenment, your bladder is very full. Are you interested? I don't want any enlightenment. Right now, going to the bathroom feels like ultimate liberation. Yes or no? So just about anything, when you're in a state of compulsiveness, you don't see anything the way it is. Life will get distorted to make you think that that is it at that moment. So like this, human life passes from one compulsive state to another, never allowing yourself that little bit of space where you could see things the way they are. If you do not even see life the way it is, can you handle it the way it needs to be handled? It doesn't arise, isn't it? If you don't see things the way they are, you can never handle it the way it needs to be handled. Because of this, in many ways, individual human lives and whole societies have become distorted humanity. When I say distorted, it's normal, I mean normal. I was talking to a 14, 15-year-old kids in a school. And I couldn't believe that I was talking to about 11, 12 of them, young boys and girls. When something came up and I was just asking them what are they going to do next because they were in their 10th standard or something, they're only talking about finding a job and earning a living. I couldn't believe this because my whole life I never thought of earning a living. My dear father used to break his head, this boy has no fear in his heart, what will happen to him, what will happen to him? I said, not having fear is a problem? I thought fear is a problem. I never thought not having fear is a problem. So, according to the dictates of the divine, I was supposed to become a doctor because my father is a doctor. At the age of 10, I told him, no, that's one thing I'm not going to be, I'm not going to be a doctor. But every day, somebody is trying to work on me, you must become a doctor, you must become a doctor. You know, Indian family, you must become a doctor. If you cannot… Of course, now they've all shifted to software. Just 2 days ago, I came to India, so 1 week ago, 8 days ago, I was in Chicago. And an Indian person came and I asked, okay, what are you doing? What else, Sadhguru? That means he's a software engineer. There was a time if you said what else, you were a doctor. Now if you say what else, it means you're a software engineer. It is not because they're phenomenally interested in human physiology they became doctors, not because they have an electronic this thing they became a software engineer, just to earn a living. Is it not important? I'm not saying it's not important, all I'm saying is, even an ant which has 1/1,000,000th of your brain is capable of earning a living. What's your problem with such a big brain? My father was very worried. You're not getting qualified for anything, what will you do? How will you earn your living? I would say, okay, I can become this and this. Now that I'm not qualified for anything, I can just become just about anything. If nothing works, I will go into the forest and live. I had survived weeks on end in the jungle by myself. So I said, okay, if nothing works, I'll go into the forest and live. It's the most wonderful way to live. What's the big deal? Why I'm saying this is, this idea, this horribly limiting idea has been imposed into our youth that you must earn a living and that's the biggest thing. With this big brain, earning a living is actually a problem on this planet. I know everybody's been conditioned to believe that. It is not so, I'm telling you. It is not so. I have never earned my living, but somebody always feeds me, wherever I go, really. If I just go and throw up my hands, I'll tell you, that man who's running one little tea shop, if I just say like this, nothing in my hands, he will feed me. Not because now I'm dressed like this or whatever. Even if I am not, he will. Earning a living is a petty thing for human consciousness, but unfortunately, whole humanity is investing all its energies and intelligence in just earning a living. If this one thing does not change in the world, that… I'm not saying one should not, all I'm saying is, it need not occupy the entirety of human consciousness to earn a living. If you put one little finger to work, it'll earn a living. It's capable, this is capable of that. All human genius has been smothered to death simply because everybody is thinking how to earn a living, how to earn a living, you know. The moment they can earn a living, they will sit down and become fat. You must be saying, what can I do with this life, isn't it? Yes? You must be saying, what is the greatest thing I can do with this life? Because one day you'll fall dead, do you know? Do you know you'll fall dead one day? Even in Bengal it happens. Even if you do not jump into Bay of Bengal, it still happens. Yes? Even if you eat well, it'll happen. Even if you do yoga, it will happen, believe me. You will still die. So before you die, Whatever is the peak possibility for this life should happen, isn't it? I earn my living, I earn my living. This is a big pride. Why don't you see every insect, every worm, every bird, every animal, every creature on this planet is earning a living? What is there to be so proud of about I earn my own living? Everybody's earning their own living, isn't it? Only human beings are making a big issue out of it. Too big a issue. When I look at it, how human intelligence has been sacrificed at the altar of earning a living is unbelievable. How many things human beings could have done, how many incredible things they could have done, but instead of that, they're earning a living. So it's very, very important. I'm just thinking we should start a wave, particularly in schools and colleges, that earning a living is a damn little thing. It is not the prime of your life. With one little finger you can earn a living. With this big brain, when an ant can earn its living, this big brain, should it struggle to earn a living? That has become a problem because you want to be like somebody else, isn't it? You want to be like somebody else. That enslaves you. And once you're into this chakra, nothing else is possible, it just keeps you going and going and going endlessly. Before you realize what's happening, people will come back from your funeral, wash their hands and they'll turn on the TV and forget about you. Yes. The color of the clothes or the colors of anything around you, does it have some impact? You need to understand this. How color happens, first of all. Why seems to be white right now is because when the light falls on it, it reflects all of it, so it looks white. Why this seems to be red right now is not because it's red, it is just that it holds back all the colors and only reflects red. That's why you're seeing red. And what is red for you may not be red for some other creature. If you dress up really jazzy colors and go and stand in front of your dog, he looks at you in an uninterested way because he doesn't see any color, he sees everything black and white. Do you know this? Don't dress up for him, okay? Dog lovers, I'm saying. You wear only black and white, dog lovers. Nothing else works. You don't impress him with red, green, blue and whatever. So color is not what it is, color is what it gives away. What you reflect will be your color, what you hold will not be your color. This is the nature of life, not just of color. This is the nature of life itself. Today, if you radiate love, people will see you as a loving human being. If you hold back all your love because you have a love bank, you're full of love but you don't radiate, people will think you're that. If you radiate joy, people will think, oh, he's a joyful person. If you are a joy bank, you held back all your joy because you want to take it to heaven, people won't experience you as a joyful human being, isn't it? What you give away is always your quality, isn't it so? So that is not just for a human being, that is the nature of the existence itself. What is thrown away is the quality of that substance. Now this reflects everything, so this is white. That reflects only red, so it is red. That reflects only blue, so it is blue. Everything else is held back. What it holds back, you don't see. what it gives away is what you see. So, how is color significant for human consciousness as such, or for any kind of spiritual process? It is significant in the sense that the color that you reflect will naturally add to the aura that you carry. People on the ascetic path don't want to wear anything because they don't want to add any new things to them. They just want to work with what they have, they don't want to take on anything more. What you are right now, to work that out is quite substantial. Adding one more thing and one more thing, it complicates. So they don't want anything, they walk naked. If socially walking naked is difficult, they will put on one little loincloth so that socially there is no issue. But the idea is, they don't want to take on anything more than what they are. They know what they are is substantial. There are other aspects to it, that's different. I'm saying about the color. So orange, the chakras in the body, all the 114 chakras, or rather 112 chakras ascribe to some color. The two do not ascribe to any color because they are not physical in nature. Anything that's physical in the existence naturally reflects light. You understand what I'm saying? Anything that's physical in the existence reflects light. Once it reflects light, it will have color in your perception. It may not have any particular color, or it may not have the color that you're seeing. You are only seeing what's being reflected. What you're seeing is the reflected light. You are not seeing the color of the substance that you're seeing. You're not seeing color of the thing that you're seeing. You're only seeing the color of the reflected light. Black reflects nothing, it holds back everything, so it becomes black. You see, we say the grass is green. No, the grass is not green. It is giving away green, so we see it as green. The sky is blue. No, no, no. Sky is not blue. You go there and see, there is no blue out there. Sky is blue for a completely different reason. Because the refraction quality of the color blue is different from the other colors, that's why the sky is blue. So why is it that spiritual processes, for different types of processes, we use different kind of colors is, those who are on a path where they don't want to gather anything, they will wear white. Those who are into a different kind of sadhana, if their sadhana is mild, but they're on the spiritual path, but they're involved with various aspects of life, they don't want to gather life around them. They want to be participating in life, but they don't want to gather anything. Such people will choose to wear white. People who are on a more intense sadhana, which is oriented towards a particular chakra in the body, which is known as agna, between the eyebrows, they will wear orange because the color of the chakra is orange. They want to radiate that color because the whole process is about enlightenment and reaching to that state of knowing, opening up that dimension of perception which is referred to as the third eye. So they will seek always ochre or orange color because that is the color of the agna. The yellow robes were worn by Buddhist monks because the process that Gautama gave to the initial stage of Buddhist monks was very rudimentary process. He chose this process for the people because he did not need any preparation, but he wants to cause a wave of awareness. That means he doesn't stay in any town for more than a day. Continuously he is moving from village to village, town to town. There's no time to prepare people for any kind of practice. So the practice that he gives them is very rudimentary, but still, he's converting them into monks. He's fixing their life, but not giving them enough preparatory steps. So he told them to wear the yellow robe, because yellow is the color of the Mooladhara, the most basic chakra in the body is Mooladhara. So he wants them to be stable. For a monk, the most important thing is he practices stability in his life. So he just wants them to be stable. They don't have to fly off into a blissful experience, they don't have to get enlightened right now, they don't have to get anywhere. They just have to learn to be stable because he is preparing soldiers to shake the world with awareness. So he told them to wear yellow robes. Later on, when they graduated to what he called as arhats, the arhats in the Buddhist tradition wore ochre robes, that is orange, as all the Indian sannyasis wear. But then after Gautama passed away, when they tried to spread the Buddhist way of life, people in India, there were at least 30% of the population were sannyasis or monks by nature. By culture, it was just like that. So this one more set of monks, they just accepted them and they became kind of part of them. They couldn't maintain a distinct identity. So from ochre, they shifted to a little more maroonish color, more for an identity's sake, because they would simply mix with all the other yogis and monks who were walking all over the place. So they wanted to set up a distinct identity, so they switched to a little maroonish color later on. But the basic Buddhist color is still yellow, because yellow is the color of the Mooladhara and it can be taught without preparation. No preparation, no teaching, no nothing, a simple process, just to stabilize and stabilize and stabilize. Such a process is taught when you are charting out a spiritual path for a few lifetimes. See, that tradition still continues in the Buddhist way of life. They keep coming back and coming back to do more work and more work because the process is such, it's of stabilization, not of realization. So that's why the yellow. Devi is always red because red is the most vibrant color. Of all the colors, red is the most vibrant color and feminine represents that. Whether you like it or not, there is a longing in a woman to be like a flower, because nature has given that possibility for her. There is a certain quality in the feminine which is flowery. So, when we say flower, the first thing that comes into most people's mind is always red. A red flower is always the real flower. Other things are on the way. Red is vibrant. It is the color of vibrance. Devi, or the feminine form of the divine, is the most vibrant form of divine. Something nobody can miss. The reason why, even if there are other bigger temples, in every village, in every town in India, we will set up a Devi temple. You walk into the Devi temple, she hits you in the face, you can't miss it, because it's vibrant. The color of vibrance is always red. It doesn't matter what kind of a person you are, if you come dressed in full red clothes, suddenly people will think you're vibrant, even if you are not. Yes or no? Red dress suddenly sets you off like you're vibrant. And to do certain type of sadhana, which is Devi-oriented, red is needed. The most important things in your life are usually red, you know. Your blood is red. It's not red enough, you go down, you know. Flowers are red, the rising sun can become reaching towards red. Anything that you consider as vibrantly alive, you tend to paint it red, because there is a connection between red and vibrance. And Devi is manifestation of vibrance that you cannot miss. So, the Devi temples always have very active involvement of red. In many ways, only red flowers are used. Blood is spilled all over the place. We don't do the blood business, but one way or the other, it needs a lot of spilling of life. Either you must know how to spill your life just like that without killing yourself. If you do not know the technology, you have to kill. We know the technology, so we don't kill. Somebody else who do not know the technology of spilling life without killing the body, they will cut the body. Most Devi temples have daily sacrifice. So colors have some impact.